the chin down to the chest. With an inhale, reach your gaze up, lifting your chin to the sky. Keep that going, a few more rounds of your breath, noticing the smoothness of the movement with your breath and the back of the throat. With an inhale, feel the front of the throat, extending your spine, lengthening up to the sky. As you exhale, creating that sound of the ocean waves, you dry breath. Inhale to lift your heart and your gaze, ground to the earth, and exhale, feel the spine rounding the space between the vertebrae. One more breath, moving with your breath, feeling this ocean wave. And as you tilt your chin to your chest this time, just holding it there for a few more breaths, feeling into your throat lock, Jayana Bandha, lifting pelvic floor for Mula Bandha, root lock, and feel your diaphragm, slight upward action as it lifts up, upward flying lock, Uddiyana Bandha. These three create Mahabandha Master Seal, sealing this in and setting your intention for your practice to create vitality, balance, shining through your system, your own personal intention. Then releasing that, coming to a straight spine. Let's take our hands to our heart, please. Bow our heads to our heart. And just noticing your own intention at the moment with the new moon and Aquarius, an Aquarian energy with lots of planets in the sign of Aquarius at the moment. Said to be about creating new dynamic changes in your life. Great, let's come to a straight spine, and you can just drop your hands down on your lap, placing one palm on the other, one thumb tip to the other, please, in Dhyana Mudra, meditation mudra. Let's create 3 Oms, and noticing the sound to the back of your throat, your vagus nerve, stimulating that really helps calm down your nervous system, and this nerve links to all of the organs of your body through your spinal cord at the back of your neck, the back of your throat. So let's create 3 Oms with an inhale to prepare. Om. Continuing. Om. And then if you like, turning that into humming, just noticing the humming, buzzing, noise through your body, through your organs, your cells, all the way down to your toes, all the way up to the crown of your head, the humming through your throat, your vagus nerve, vagus tone, the tone of your humming. Healing through your heart. Imagining this lighting up the whole of your body as it is. The light brightening. One more hum. One more round of Kumari, Black Honeybee breath. Great, coming to your hands and your knees, please. Let's spread our fingers and press the pads of the hands down, feeling the thumbs spread as well. Just maybe have a sway from side to side, and as you sway, you can action your shoulder towards your hip on that side, turning your head over to a twist, feeling the stretch through the side of the body, the hips, the spine, and where you're tight most probably. Notice your breath. And then coming to a straight spine when you're ready, please. Let's take one forearm to the ground. Then we'll turn the palm of that forearm up to the ceiling, so the back of the hand is facing the mat. Then take your other hand and just press on the forearm, putting a bit of weight into that shoulder and that arm, and feeling the skin as if it was being moved from the elbow area towards the wrist area. So you're pressing from the elbow, the forearm, to the wrist area of the forearm. Noticing as if you're like feeling into a bit more spaciousness from your shoulder as it's stretching the fascia across the shoulder and down through your rib cage, the side of your body to your hip. Then let's leave the palm as it is, trying to spread all the fingers. Reach the other hand above your head and lean back a bit. Maybe your head drops to the forearm that's on the ground, and you can just let that drop and feel into the stretch to the other arm now, through the armpit, through the front of that side body, down through to your toes even, noticing the top of the toes and the front of the foot on the ground. Softening your face, your jaw, one more breath. And then let's come up to center. Turn the palm back to normal so it's facing the ground. Take your hand to the ground and then just have a circle round. The hand can be about shoulder width apart again. Maybe the hand that is on the ground with the elbow lifted is about level with the other elbow. So just noticing your alignment, your body's placement, and how you want to move today, what's right for you. As you circle the other way around, please, feeling into the shoulder, the upper arm, as if you were articulating this massage through you. Massage your upper back, your neck, easing your neck, and maybe you make a circle around with the head a few times to just get that involved too. Let's now press back with the hand that was over your head back to the space behind you. Maybe you drop it on the back of your sacrum and just relax into your half child's pose. As you lengthen to the fingertips of the hand that's stretched above you, perhaps you come up onto those fingertips, lifting the palm away from the ground. And as you soften your head, allowing everything dropping, to release tension back to the earth, maybe having a sigh. Great, let's come back to a center point, both forearms on the mat now, please. So let's practice cat-cow with an inhale, looking forward, lengthen, lift your tailbone. Exhale, tilting the tailbone under. Feel the front of the pubic bone, your shoulders wide. Inhale to lift heart again, lifting your gaze. Exhale, grounding, feeling the back of the shoulders, the trapezius muscle. One more time, noticing the motion with your breath. And then let's go to the other side. So we'll turn the other forearm to the ground with the palm turned up, taking your hand to the inner forearm side to press down. Maybe you just hold the press for a few moments to stretch the skin and activate the meridian lines. Our thumbs connect to our lungs and our little fingers to our hearts, and the other fingers through the body as well with the energy lines. So it's really nice to just take a bit of time to self-massage, give some love to yourself in this time of love. Every day is love day. Great, let's now lean back. The opposite hand reaches overhead as you lean back, and just let your head drop to the arm that's on the ground. Dropping and releasing the tension, softening through, breathing with a softness and with strength. Steadiness and ease, Sthira and Sukham, noticing the balance of your breath. Coming back to a normal position, taking the hand that was lifted over your head now in line with the other elbow. The other forearm stays on the ground. Turn the palm the normal way, and then let's circle round Again on this side, circling the shoulder, around the rib cage, around the head maybe, softening your jaw, your face. Well done, everyone. Keep going, and then circling the opposite way as well, please. Feeling into this side, any difference, and how can move with your intention. Moving with love for yourself to wave this out to the world. Great, let's come to a still point, pressing back into child's pose. The hand that was over the head can wrap around the back now, rest on the back of the sacrum, easing back the shoulders, softening your jaw, your face. And the weight hand to the earth, pouring out the tension, dropping, feeling into the breath through the back of the body, puffing up the back of the kidneys, the back of the lungs and the heart. And then coming back to a flat back. Let's come onto our hands for a moment. Then we'll turn both hands, the backs of the hands to face the ground, spreading the fingers, the thumbs, and all the fingers are equally spread. Just lean back a little bit, stretching your forearms, the front of the wrists, feeling into the fascia line, over your shoulders, and down through the back again. And then lifting to a center point, just ease from side to side a little bit, noticing the sides of the wrists, the forearms, the inner and outer elbow, the upper arm, side and inside of the armpit. Great, let's come onto our knees into a kneeling position. Shake your hands, shaking out the joints and the fingers. I practice seated cat-cow with lion's breath. If you want to stick out your tongue, you're welcome to, activating the back of your throat and your vagus nerve again. Hands to your lap or wherever they're comfortable. Ease your shoulders back. With an inhale, lift chest looking up. As you exhale, stick out your tongue, open your eyes, lion's breath. You can do this more as a dynamic inhale to lift up into a high kneeling, looking up. Now exhale, sitting back down, sticking out your tongue, lion's breath. Keeping that going, 3 more breaths. Inhale to rise. Exhale, lion's breath. Breathing deep, feeling into the breath, awakening you, and with your tongue, noticing your core line, noticing your breath with the inner line of your body, the center of you. Okay, let's come to our hands and knees again, and tuck the toes under, lift the knees off the ground for downward facing dog in your own way. Have a pedal out, noticing both legs, both hips, maybe swaying the hips from side to side a little bit. Noticing from the pelvis and the back of the sacrum, lengthening the hips up and back a bit more, so stretching them back, tilting the pelvis a little bit further back. As you bend your knees, this really helps bring the awareness to tilting the pelvis a little bit further back. Feel the glutes spreading and the muscles stretching. One more breath here, please. Let's now step one foot behind the other, so you cross your legs in down dog. Both hands are balanced as you press the hips back. Feel into the inner thighs, the inner pelvis. Draw lower belly in. And looking to your knees, just letting the head hang, relaxing your jaw and face for a moment. We'll go to the other side. Feeling into this side, stretching up and back. Bring into your throat and the sound of your breath. And then this inversion for our heart and our mind, really good. Bringing your feet back to normal and then crossing one foot in front of the other, weaving your legs as you cross them all the way to the top. Keep one foot in front of the other and let's forward fold. And then inhale, looking forwards, cross the other foot over the other. And as you exhale, fold in, drawing lower belly and lifting shoulders. Inhale, come to a flat back. Take the feet wide to be mat width apart, please. Bend your knees. Tilt the pelvis back. Let's reach the hands forward. And like you're about to leap forward in a frog jump, bend the knees quite a bit. Feet are parallel. Tilt the pelvis back. Feel the glutes, the hips, the sit bones, the sacrum, stretching back there through the lower back. And this really helps with any back or leg pain issues. Great, let's now soften into a forward fold. You can take your feet to be normal width apart. And in ragdoll style, maybe with your hands dangling or opposite forearms, just have a sway from side to side. Shrugging your shoulders, feeling into the feet, balance to the ground, maybe spreading the toes, maybe swaying from side to side with the feet a little bit, noticing your balance. Maybe shrugging a bit more and shaking your head, sighing out, having a yawn or spreading your face so that they're stretching your jawline or your eyes in any way that you'd like to wake up your face. Great, let's start to roll up slowly, moving with one full big breath all the way up to standing in Tadasana. As you shrug your shoulders out a few times, feel your feet firm to the ground. And as you take your feet a bit wider than hip distance apart, just notice both feet equal with balance. Let's start to pat our body. We'll take our hands to our head, little raindrops on the crown of the head, patting round the side of the head and down the back of the throat when you're ready, and gently patting over your forehead, around your eyes. In your own way, give yourself a nice massage and waking up your body, greeting your body as you maybe pull the ears out to the sides and tug on the earlobes a little bit. This stimulates the vagus nerve again, the back of the throat connecting to all our nerves and our organs, and then patting our face down to our jawline, across the jawline. And as you feel any tension in your jaw, just inviting it to drop again, dropping it all away back to the earth to recycle, renew. Tapping down your throat, maybe you're lightly or a bit more vigorous now, waking up your body, tap across your heart, your collarbones. Maybe you make a noise again, like a gargling or a humming noise, noticing your throat and this waking, buzzing in you. Down one arm through the front of the arm and then up the inside of the arm. Do that 3 times in your own way. And any areas that you need to spend more attention to, you're really welcome to. If there's any area that's really tense in your body that you want to tap more, let's go to the other arm when you're ready, and 3 times up and down that arm, waking up your lymphatic system. Both arms, notice if one's slightly different than the other. And then let's tap across our chest again, our heart, gorilla style. Tap down the torso, round the belly. 3 times one direction if you like, and 3 times the other direction, waking up all your organs. Tapping down the sides and give one side a bit more of a tap at the front and the back, down to the kidneys, and then go to the other side, switching your hands if you can. Let's tap our kidneys at the back, making little fists and just allowing them to put some pressure on the top of the hips, waking up on metabolism. And tap down the front of the legs as you bend your knees low into your forward fold, tapping up the back of the legs to your glutes as you lift up. 3 times as you sigh out, forward fold, and then lifting up to standing. One more time. Great, and then taking your hands to the front of your lower stomach area, just positioning them there for a moment. Dantian and Qigong and lots of different cultures, honoring our intestines, our organs, our digestive system, honoring our womb space for women, space of creation, and balancing this energy within us. Let's now take some breathing exercises. Then inhale, reach the hands up to the top. You can lift your heels up as well if you want to. And exhale, hands wide, bend the knees, swooping down. Inhale to lift up again, rising to the top, reaching high, lift to your toes if you wish. And exhale, bending knees, swooping down again, softening. One more time this way as we inhale, rising, flying high. And exhale, softening to the ground below. Inhale, lift up with the hands overhead again. You can lift the heels as well. This time you bend the elbows, bend the knees, and lower down. You can keep the heels lifted if they are, and try that as an extra balance as you lower. Inhale to rise up again. Maybe the heels are still lifted the whole time, or you're playing with that. As you exhale, forward fold again, maybe sighing out. And one more time. Moving with your breath, feeling the breath, guiding you, bending your elbows, your knees, and keeping the currents of your body with softness and ease. Inhale to rise up to the top, lift your heels off, big deep stretch. Interlace the fingers, index finger pointing up, lift the heels up and stretch to the sky. Feel the lower belly and the line of you. Exhale, hands down, and let's lower our heels down as well. Great. Reaching one hand over your head to the other side. Just take the opposite hand to the same hip as that hand, sorry. And as we reach over, feel into both feet, feel into the side body, but then just ease your shoulders and your head. I know we normally do this with both hands overhead, but if we do it with one hand, we can just get a bigger stretch through the sides, softening shoulder and rib cage. And then we're going to circle this arm around, reaching it, bending the knees as you lower into the circle to the ground and up to the top again. 3 times on this side, just easing the arm around. Maybe you bend the elbow a little bit, moving into the fascia stretch through the whole of the side body. Inhale, reach the hands up overhead, both hands together. Maybe you come up onto your toes again, interlacing fingers, index finger pointing up. The light beam and arrow, lighting up, stretching tall. Exhale, drop the opposite arm now to that same hip, and we'll keep the other arm overhead to extend it and reach over to that side. Softening shoulders, feel the feet firm again. Notice any difference on this side. Feel the rib cage soften as much as you can, softening your jaw and face. Inviting the softness with the strength and balance. One more breath, noticing your breath. Sweeping through. And then let's sweep it round in this big circle. Easing and stretching out this side. Through the whole side body. Down to the outer ankle. Down the outer seam of the body. And after you've done your 3, I've lost count. Let's reach the hands up again. This time let's cross our forearms, and whichever forearm's on top, just switch to the other side. So we're working our tighter side. Feel the forearms with your hands equal or the elbows. Soften the shoulders, lift your heart. Feel the front of the body and the front of the pelvic bone now. And let's bend our knees a little bit, and as if we could tilt the pelvis forward and back. And you're trying to initiate a stretch across the rib cage, tilting the pelvis back with an inhale and exhale, tilting the pelvis forwards, rounding slightly through the lower back, engaging the glutes. And keep that going. It doesn't really matter which way you breathe, just noticing. There'll be a lot of heat building in your shoulders. Well done. Great, let's drop the hands down now and just bounce a little bit. Bounce on your knees and your ankles. A little shake, and shake out your fingers again. And let's take this shake all the way through as a big shimmy through our body, shaking it all out. Shake out one foot, shake out the toes. And then shake out the other foot, shaking out those toes as well. Great. We're going to take our hands to our hips. I'll just turn to the side to show you, and both feet on the ground. We're going to do that little tilt of the pelvis again, forward and backwards. And then circle your hips round. When you're ready, circling one way, maybe 3 or 5 different times in that direction, and circle the other way. And maybe get your head involved and just notice the whole circle round your body to your feet again. Don't worry, we'll get moving in a moment with more traditional style of yoga. I just thought it'd be nice to warm up like this. Great. Let's now keep our hands on our hips. We're going to lift one foot off the ground, spread those toes away from each other, flex the foot. When we flex our feet and we spread our toes, it switches on our whole core line, as you probably know. Draw up through your core and lengthen to the crown of your head. Just staying here for a moment, feeling into the balance, noticing the front and the back of the sacrum again. Those 2 points, the front of our pelvic bone and our tailbone. Noticing those now as we move this leg and our pelvis in space. Taking the foot back and tilting the body forward slightly as you extend that leg straight or keep it bent, your choice. And then bring the knee in and lift up to center again. Doing that a few more times. When you're ready, please. And if you fall, it's okay, I do too. Totally be in the space of acceptance and playfulness, exploration and inquiry. Great, now let's keep this knee out to the side and then try to just tilt over to the opposite side. So you're taking yourself off balance, your pelvis is holding you there. Feel the front of the pelvic bone again and lift up through Mula Bandha, pelvic floor and lower belly. Keep that awareness as you play, and then we'll take the foot over to the other side. Lean to the other side as much as you can. Great, let's step this foot behind the other to the ground. Reach both hands overhead. Take the same wrist as that foot and arch to the side for your present stretch. Bring it back to center and both feet to the ground. Let's go to the other side, hands to your hips. Steady yourself on the standing leg as you lift the opposite foot up. Spreading the feet, the toes, actioning through your core again. Drawing up through your core, feeling the front and the back of the pelvis. And then noticing that area as you play with the leg, forwards and back a little bit, fixing your gaze, your drishti on one point, into the front of the pelvis and the back of the pelvis, and the length to the tailbone, lifting pelvic floor. Well done. Bring the knee out to the side and lean to the other side again, noticing that way. And then taking the foot all the way across the leg, the standing leg to the other side, leaning to the opposite side. Well done, everyone. Great work. Okay, let's step that foot behind the other and present with our hands overhead, holding on to the same wrist as the foot that's stepped behind. Stretching through that side. Have a big deep breath. Enjoying your breath. Inhale, coming back to center. We stand in Tadasana, mountain pose at the top of our mats. Let's soften our shoulders back and down, hands facing forwards, land through our spine. Engaging from your feet, spreading the toes, drawing up through your inner arches, your core, lifting the thighs, lifting your heart, lengthening through your spine as you soften your shoulders and face. Let's now start to move a bit more dynamically. With an inhale, reach the hands up. So lift our right foot off the ground, right knee, spread the toes. As you exhale, take the foot back behind you again, and then stepping it all the way as slow as you can to the back of the mat for a high lunge. Have a little bounce or a pulse if you want to, or just stay in stillness. You can make this harder or easier, whatever you choose. And if you're pulsing, noticing the rhythm with your breath, or just feeling into the stretch to the back foot, the back toes, through the back thigh. One more breath. As you exhale, take the right hand down to the ground, left hand stays lifted for your revolve lunge. Maybe this left hand circles around 3 big circles, opening the shoulder backwards. Maybe the right knee is down to the ground to help you if you want to be a bit softer. One more breath. Taking that left hand down to the ground, lift the right knee off the mat if it was down. Stretch out from the back toes, maybe wriggling them back a little bit more to have really long leg lines. Stretch out the inner thighs, lengthen to the crown of the head. And maybe you pulse it again a little bit forward and back, or sway a little bit side to ease any tension. Now we've got choices, either take the right knee down and flex the front foot for half splits, or we keep lifted with both legs a little bit more in the air and pulse it in your own way. Bending the knee, looking forwards, exhale, flexing the foot, looking down as you forward fold into your half splits form. Softening your face and your jaw, one more big breath, noticing how many pulses you did on this side. Great, let's take the hands to the ground, back to plank when you're ready. Lowering through your press up of knees, chest, chin, all the way down to the ground, please. Hands wide off the mat for wide cobra. Wriggle onto the front of the thighs and the feet. With an inhale, lift up. As you exhale, lower. Twice more, inhale to rise, shoulder blades back and down. Exhale to soften. Once more, inhale, feel from the toes all the way through. And exhale, lowering to the ground. Hands over your head for full body pranam prayer, pressing the palms together. Other side, soften, feel the earth below. And then let's take our hands to the mat underneath the shoulders. Press the ground away into a half plank or full plank. And back to downward facing dog when you're ready. Pedaling out the legs, bending the knees if you need to. Sway out the hips if you like from side to side. Make it your practice, and maybe you're being more playful and creative and curious. Noticing the pelvis and the front and the back of the pelvis and your throat as your awareness through the spine, the base of the spine to the top. Inhale, let's lift right foot up to the sky, please. Exhale, step the foot forward, coming up for your high lunge. As you rise up, hands overhead, and let's pulse it a bit or stay in stillness if we did so at the beginning of the other side. Feeling into the feet, into the leg stretch, lengthening through the spine, lifting with lightness to the fingertips. One more breath, noticing through. And then as you exhale, left hand down, right hand reaches into your revolve lunge. Choose whether you want the back knee lifted or up again. And as you lift this right hand, maybe you circle it round 3 times. If you did so on the other side, easing through the face, the shoulders, stretching, feeling into the hips and the right hip. Taking both hands down when you're ready, looking forwards. Lengthen through, lift up the back knee if it was down. And then choosing whether you want the back knee down or lifted for your half splits pulse from here to the half splits. Exhale, lift the toes up, away from the ground as you forward fold. And inhale to look forward. Keeping that going, exhale to fold in, softening. Inhale to pulse it, feeling the stretch. Breathing through. Into the rhythm, the motion, and the sound. Great. Taking yourself back to plank again, please. Let's lower all the way again to the ground. 3 wide cobras once more. Hands off to the sides of the mat. Maybe you're on your fingertips as you rise and lower with your breath. Inhale to rise. Feel from the toes. Soften shoulders back. Breathing deep, lifting your heart. As you exhale, lower down. Taking pranam again, hands overhead, pressing the palms together. Soften your face and jaw, have a sigh. Feel the body on the ground. Resting for a moment to settle. Exhale, take the hands under your shoulders, press the ground away in your own way from half plank or to tabletop or to plank, moving to down dog when you're ready. And any time you need to rest, please do so, of course, in child's pose or any rest postures that you would like to enjoy. As this time, step our feet wide to the sides of the mat, bend the knees, take your hands to the sides of the mat, tilt the pelvis backwards and feel through the lower back, the lower sacrum again, and the front of the pelvis. Feel into the knees quite bent. You're lowering down to the ground as if you're kind of trying to stretch the hands over your head as much as you can, but keep a bit of softness. I know it's a strong stretch. One more big breath in this decompressive spine posture. Really good for your lower back. Great, let's come back onto your hands and then bring the right foot up to the sky. Three-legged down dog, please. Bend the right knee, look under right upper arm for scorpion dog. Pressing the left heel towards the ground as you flex the right foot. You can point and flex the right foot a few times, maybe circling it one way and circling the other. Getting into the fascia, stretch through again. And the front of the pelvis once more, the back of the sacrum. Circle the knee round, feeling around the pelvis, coming with the knee to a high plank position if you like, or you can stay in your down dog position, just circling it a little bit. Maybe you can even lower to your left knee to help yourself to soften a bit more. As we circle the opposite direction as well, please, a few times. Getting into the circle of the pelvis, the hip joint, the upper thigh. And then let's step that foot forward, top of the mat, low or high lunge once more, please, as you rise up with the hands overhead. Taking your left wrist, hands over to the right now, stretch out from the left toes to the fingers. Soften your shoulders, your face, and your jaw. One breath here. Inhale, reach it up to the top. Exhale, take the left hand down, right hand into a revolved lunge again. And then this time, let's switch the hands. So right hand down, left hand up. Moving the left heel to the ground for a warrior two stance with your feet. And maybe your right hand is on a block or the forearm is on the thigh to lift up a bit higher if you need that. If you're down low, you can reach the left arm over at diagonal from heel to fingers, or maybe take bound warrior with the hands wrapped around the thigh and the back, easing the shoulders back, lifting the heart, making sure that you're centered to the mat as you feel into the stretch through. Well done, everyone. Great. Exhale, both hands down to the ground. Turn your body to face the mat and wiggle the left heel back again. Let's move this right foot over to the right for lizard. Turn the toes out. Maybe your hands stay on the ground and the back knee's lifted or it's down. If you can lower to your forearms, choosing the back knee down or lifted again. Choosing what's best as you level out your shoulders, your hips, stretching through. Let's take 3 breaths here. Into the breath, guiding us, easing out any tension. Softening your throat, feeling the sound like a buzzing reverberation through you as before. Great, let's now flex the right toes, easing the hips back into a diagonal on a Hanumanasana, half splits. And then we pulse it a few times, forwards and back, so we're in a lizard to half splits, maybe 3 times as you ease through. And then you can kind of keep still in any of those variations, either in lizard or your half splits, diagonal, or we're trying to move the foot forward, out to the diagonal a little bit, as it tends to be a bit easier and also keeps our hips more level than the straighter version of splits. Hands can just be as they are most comfortable on the ground or to blocks And as you stay here for one more breath, just stretch it out, feel the back of the right knee and hamstring. Great, bring that right foot back and let's slide it all the way back to down dog when you're ready. Moving through vinyasa if you want to, from plank, lowering through your press up. Inhale, rise for Cobra, up dog, lengthening from the toes to the crown, and exhale back to down dog. Rest if you need to. Have a breath here in down dog. And then let's lower onto our knees, onto our forearms for dolphin. Bringing our elbows shoulder width apart, head in between the upper arms is hanging. As you walk your feet up the mat a little bit, feel from the feet balanced up to the hips, and then lift from the shoulders away from the ears, lifting the shoulders up, and the action from your shoulders, lifting up through the back to your hips. Drawing lower belly in, feeling the front and the back of the pelvis again. Bend the knees slightly to tilt the pelvis. And you can rest if you need to in your dolphin to child's pose. Or let's do dolphin dips, moving the head forwards and then moving the shoulders so that you're in this alignment of a kind of a high plank form, but it's not so high plank, and then to dolphin. Few more times for your dolphin dips, building strength. And then walk the feet back so you're in a forearm plank, please. Have one breath here, maybe you sway a little bit from side to side. You can take the knees down to help you if you need to. Then let's lower all the way with our hips down for Sphinx Pose. Level the front of the thighs, the front of the feet and the toes to the ground. Lift from the toes to the crown of the head, lifting your heart. Feel the front of the pelvis again as you activate your glutes. Lift from the lower lumbar, the lower back, up through your spine. Lifting your heart, soften shoulders. From Sphinx, we can lift up to seal if you want to go a bit higher and deeper back bend. Maybe you move the hands a bit further towards you as you turn the fingers out to the sides. Notice the elbows drawing in, softly bending the elbows if you're in seal, lifting the heart through. One more breath, balancing with your breath and your intention, your awareness, lowering all the way down. 3 wide cobras, or you can rest with an inhale, reach the heart up, looking up as you exhale, lower. Resting if you need to in crocodile or pranam. Keep it going with your breath, with your awareness. Great, take the hands under shoulders, press the ground away to a half plank or a full plank, and back to down dog or rest in child's pose. Pedaling out, swaying it out your own way in down dog. Or this time in down dog, taking your left foot over to the right side of the mat, off the mat for a half plank play as you lift the right hand up to the sky and then go to the other side. Switching the feet, have a play in any form of half plank that you like, you enjoy. One knee can be down to help you in your half plank. Maybe you go from side to side a few more times, exploring half plank in your own way. One more breath, well done. Great, let's bend the knees in down dog, tilt the pelvis back, feel the inner pelvis, the front of the pelvis and the back again, stretching out the lower back. Looking forwards, either jump or step to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to the top. Reaching and looking up, and exhale, hands to our heart. We're going to do the balance on the other side with our other foot, and then continue that side once we've done it. So let's take our hands to our hips. The left knee lifts off the ground, left foot flexing that left foot, spreading the toes, softening your shoulder, breathing through with this balance of steadiness and ease. Feeling into the standing leg, your spine, your core again. And then we're going to take the foot back, balancing it in air, reaching maybe the hands forward or keeping them to your hips again. Take warrior 3 for a moment. Stepping that foot all the way to the back of the mat for our high lunge. Then inhale, reach the hands overhead. As you exhale, widen the arms out to the sides for warrior two. Bending this right knee, look to see the right big toe. Inhale, reach the right hand up overhead, exalted warrior. Starting to straighten the right leg for triangle pose. Left hand on left hip. You can move the left foot up the mat a bit if you need to. With an inhale, reach the right hand forward and down the inner seam of the leg. So around about the calf height with the hand. Not too low, please, so we're not hurting our lower back. Peel back your left shoulder and your heart looking up and lift the left hand up when you're ready. Maybe you circle this arm around 3 times or you keep it in stillness. We can take it behind the back to rest on the back of the sacrum again. Keeping the sides of the body lifted, and we're not like lowering down to try and get as low as possible. We're trying to lift up and lift through this side body to create space and awareness and room for our organs and our spine. One more big breath, pressing to both feet. Well done. Exhale, bend the knee, look down. Let's lower down to the ground. Step it back to plank. Lowering through your vinyasa or resting if you need to. Inhale to lengthen for Cobra up dog. Exhale back to down dog. Inhale, let's lift left foot up to the sky. Bend the left knee. Flex the left foot. And as you press the right heel to the ground, point and flex the left foot, moving it in space again. So maybe circling the ankle around one way and then the other. Into the stretch through in scorpion dog, getting both hands balanced. And then let's start to circle the knee around in our own way in a high plank form if you want to work on your strength, or the right knee is down to help you. Noticing the front and the back of the pelvis, circle through the inner thighs, spiral through you. Great, on your next inhale, step it forward. High lunge as you rise up again, reaching up to the top, lengthen through. Exhale, right hand to the ground, left hand lifts into a revolved lunge again, turn it round to the left. Exhale, take the left hand down, right heel to the ground for a warrior two foot placement, reaching the right hand up overhead in that diagonal for your full side angle, or any version that you like. Maybe try bound warrior if you have that in your awareness, and you can lift the heart, lift the gaze, breathing deep, feel the strength of your body, the thanks with gratitude, lengthening from the back foot to the front fingers. Well done. Exhale, take the hands down to the ground. Let's move the left foot over to the left for lizard on this side. Wriggle the right toes back again, and then choose whatever hand placement you had with the knee down or lifted before. Leveling the shoulders and the hips, stretching it out. Feeling into this side, breathing through. So the breath sweeping through the wave, refreshing and cleansing. Well done. Let's take our hands to the ground, and maybe the back knee is lifted or down, and we're taking the half splits form. I think we had the knee down last time, didn't we? So as we take this left foot into a splits variation, feel the back of the left knee, the hamstring, the stretch through. Then in any way that you like, moving from our lizard to our half splits form. Breathing into the pulse of the wave with your breath. And then if you like, you can stay in either of those forms, or we slide this left foot a slight diagonal out to the left, level the pelvis, the hips and the shoulders, and just feel into the stretch of Hanumanasana. Hanuman, the monkey god, leaping across the ocean. One foot forward and his heart wide open. He represents devotion, bhakti, devotion of your heart, of your body, your life, of your service, of your connection. Great, let's bring that foot back all the way behind. Come onto our hands and knees just for a moment to have a wriggle out. And then let's take Dolphin again, or you can just take your forearms to the ground and practice cat-cow, or even rest in Child's Pose, whatever's best for you. If you're in Dolphin, you may like to do some little hops with one foot lifting over your head, kicking it up to the sky 3 times, and then go to the other side. 3 times both feet, just little hops, don't have to be too crazy. And if you have pincha or an asana, forearm balance, you're welcome to take it or go to the wall to practice if that's your thing. One more big breath. Well done. Let's come to forearms again, forearm plank now, spreading the fingers, spreading the shoulders. Noticing long to your heels, activating your thighs. Feel the spine level and parallel to the ground, hovering. Feel as if the whole of your body was kind of hovering. And notice the space, the fluidity, the organs, the vibrations buzzing through you. One more breath. Great, we're now going to take our knees to the ground and just rest in Child's Pose actually. Let's rest for a moment. Maybe you've got your hands over your head and the palms pressed together, square to the back of your head. Or maybe you're just softening the hands to the feet, relaxing your shoulders completely, letting them drop in your body. Pour to the ground, being a softening breath. And we've just got our triangle posture to do with our left foot now for our standing sequence, and then we'll be resting a bit more to have some nice stretches very soon. Great, let's come to downward facing dog, please. Bring your hips back and up again, stretching out. Take one foot off the ground and just circle the ankle around one way and then the other. And then let's go to the other side, taking the other foot up, circling that ankle around one way, and then the other. In your own time, inhale, lifting left foot off the ground, stepping it forward, top of the mat, reaching for a high lunge, hands up overhead once again. Feel from the back heel, extending to the fingertips. Exhale, open it, warrior 2, out to the side. Gazing to see the left big toe just beyond the knee again, feeling into the inner thigh stretch. Switch on the inner thighs. Inhale, lift left hand up to the sky for Exalted Warrior. And then taking your right hand to right hip, start and straighten your left leg. Maybe you move the right foot up the mat a little bit to shorten the distance between the feet. As you reach the left hand forward, reach it out as far as you can, and down the inner seam of the calf. And as we peel back the right shoulder, looking round, inhale, reach the right hand up to the top. Maybe you circle it round if you did so last time. Maybe we take the hand behind the back to ease back the shoulder. And we keep lifted. So you can notice from your back heel a diagonal line from the back heel through the spine to the back of your skull, the top of your spine. Noticing that, so we don't need to go too low in our triangle. Great variations, everyone, lovely. One more breath. Great, bending your left knee, looking down to the ground. Let's step back to our last plank, and let's lower down all the way to the mat. Taking our left forearm to square the top of the mat, reach the right hand behind, drawing in the right heel first of all for frog. Just level out your hips and your thighs. Notice them equal to the ground. Maybe this right hand stays to the side of the foot, or you can take it inside the foot and draw it in a bit more. Maybe the right heel is aiming towards your right outer glute area. So you're pressing it down there. Or you just stay with it, drawing it in, drawing the shoulder back and lifting the heart as you do so. Maybe you look round for a bit of a neck, shoulder stretch, or you look forward for a different stretch. And as you press your left foot to the ground, keeping the hips level, feeling into the stretch through this right shoulder, thigh, side body, from fingers to toes. Great, let's try half bow. Flexing the right foot, draw your leg backwards to lift your heart. Try it, stay here for 3 breaths. And maybe your hand is inside the inner foot and lifting up the knee, or the outer foot lifting up the knee, or either of those with the knee down. Great, let's lower into crocodile. Have a sway of your feet, soften your gaze, your throat, have a sigh. And go to the other side. Right forearm to the top of the mat, left hand back to the left foot. Draw the foot in for half frog first of all. Maybe the hand goes to the inner arch area of the foot as you draw it in. Maybe you're looking back and around, and perhaps you're quite lifted with the front of the body, or you're down to the ground. Whichever feels comfy for you, that's for you to explore. One more big breath here. Easing back the shoulder. Great, now flexing the foot, drawing the foot back for a half bow. Hanumanasana. Noticing your jaw, your face, softening across the jaw and the face. And noticing your body, trying to soften the shoulders back, level, even though one will be lifted more than the other, your left. One more big breath. Feel the parts of the body touching the ground. And then lowering back down to crocodile. Crossing your forearms the opposite way than they would normally. Relax, please. And just having a sway out of your feet over your legs from side to side again. Have a sigh. And now we've got options, either Locust Pose, Hanumanasana, hands to the sides, lift chest, lift feet, or Bodhanasana, hands to the sides of the feet or the insides of the inner arches, lifting heart, lifting through the legs, maybe flexing the feet to draw the body up and back, pointing the toes to lift the legs. Feel the knees and the feet aligned, hip distance apart, lifting your heart, smiling across your heart. Remembering the Om that we started our class with, the humming, just feeling this buzzing, this vibration within you, the smile through all your organs, smiling as you shoot bows and arrows from your heart. Great, let's come back into a crocodile form. Maybe you cross the opposite forearm over the other again to switch your sides. As you sway out your feet, just softening fully to the ground. Have a sigh, feel your belly, your body resting. Let's now keep the left arm to the ground and move the left arm across the body so the palms turned up. Just let your head drop and turn onto the left side so you're weighted. Right hand to right foot, and you can draw that right foot back behind you. Trying to level the knee down a little bit. So the knee's not lifted up and back, the knee is down. And feel the stretch through, and as if we're in our dancer balance or half bow that we just done. But now on our side. One more big breath. Take the body back to the ground, and as you let go of your right foot, wrap this right arm over the left arm, palms are turned up, and then just drop your head to the center of the space. Trying to level the shoulders, level the body, the thighs and the feet as well. As you rest, notice your shoulders and trying to pull them out with tension, dropping them to the ground, using the back of your throat. And then let's go to the other side. Right arm stays across the body, palm turned to that side and up to the ceiling. Resting on the right side, rolling your weight over, and take the left foot behind you. Left knee level to the body and the ground, not lifted too much, and actioning back on this side. Noticing the points of contact that are holding you on the ground for stability, your balance, and the stretch through. Dancer balance is a depiction of Shiva dancing creation, cosmic dancer. And as we breathe into a wholeness, into the flow, and into letting go, we can dance with new creations, this new moon. Let's come back to center, and as you do so, wrapping that left arm over the right, palms facing up as you drop your head to the center again. Feel the shoulder blades easing, pouring out the tension, softening your face, your jaw, your neck. On one side, you feel the stretch a lot nicer than the other. I can feel it better on this side, but maybe different for you. One more big breath. Let's now press our hands under shoulders, firm the body and lift back and up for Child's Pose. This Child's Pose, let's take our knees together, please. So you're sealing in the pelvis. Maybe your hands are over your head, the palms pressed together and the prayer to the back of the head, or we make potato hands, rest the forehead on the top little mini fist, and soften your shoulders away from your ears wherever you are. You can even have the hands back to the feet, which will really help with that softening the shoulders away from your ears. Just resting for a few moments as we thank our bodies, breathing through the back of the body, the whole of the body. And then let's come onto our hands and knees briefly, to then move to seated briefly, and take the feet forward with the hips to the top of the mat, hip distance apart and parallel. We'll do some cool roll downs with an inhale, reach the hands up overhead. As you exhale, start to roll down as slow as possible, as slowly as you can. If you want to do it a bit quicker, if it's not for you today, of course you can. And you can rest on your back if you want to skip these. With an inhale, reach the hands overhead. As you exhale, bring the hands forward and start to lift up all the way off the ground, bringing yourself back up to the top. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, rounding the back, drawing lower belly in as you use your core to slowly get down to the ground. Softening your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, reaching up overhead again. And one more time, exhale, hands forwards, slowly lifting up. Press the feet to the ground in balance. As you inhale, reach your hands up overhead. Well done. Exhale, lowering down again. Keep it really slow and controlled if you can. This time as slow as possible. Maybe you just pause at the end just before you lower completely. And inhale, reach the hands overhead. Straighten the legs now and let's point to the toes. And then maybe you feel your heels on the ground and you start to wriggle the feet so that you create a ripple action through your body, to your hips, to your shoulders, rippling like a chain through all the systems, the nadis, the energy lines. You can keep your hands over your head, or actually it's probably better to have your hands to the side if you're not used to it, as they act as a bit more of a stabilizing, centered rippling through your body. One more breath like this, rippling, where you can stay in stillness, of course. And then let's come to stillness, turning the palms up and flopping the feet for a moment. You can either just completely rest now for a Shavasana relaxation and skip a shoulder stand inversion practice, or if shoulder stand is your thing, or headstand and you want to try headstand, you're really welcome to, and then shoulder stand as well, or take any other stretch you like before the end of your practice. You can have the feet in the air and just circle the ankles round and enjoy that. Or for full shoulder stand, swing the feet over the head, the plow. Briefly take the hands to the lower back around the hips equal. Wriggle the elbows and wriggle on top on the upper arms on top of the shoulders as you get yourself set up. Feel the shoulders level, and the shoulders are your base now. So noticing that and then lifting up from that area of your shoulders, engaging the arms, the shoulder blades, and the muscles of the shoulders, lifting up to the toes. Ignite your legs, your core, long spine. You can choose any feet, leg options, pedaling or bicycling or circling in any way. Maybe you take eagle legs with the legs, wrapping one leg over the other. Maybe tree legs if you like that. And anytime you need to, rolling down or taking plow or half plow with one leg to the ground above your head, one leg to the sky, and have a little play. Dance it out or stay in stillness. And when you're ready, rolling all the way to the ground with your back resting. And maybe draw your knees in and rock from side to side. And perhaps you take happy baby with your feet flexed to the sky, hands to your thighs or around the shins and the calves, or first your fingers to your big toes with your thumbs. Drawing your knees to the sides of your body and feeling the back to the ground. Pressing the lower back and the hips to the ground. And notice your hips, the back of the hips, flattening to the mat a bit more. Just action that awareness and the stretch there. Taking a few more breaths and any stretch that you like before your Shavasana relaxation. And then when you're ready, drawing your knees in, hugging your head to your knees. Seal that in, a seed. When you're ready, unraveling for Shavasana in any form of rest that you most enjoy. Maybe if you have any lower back tension, your inner knees touching in restorative rest with the feet parallel and wider than hip distance apart. And any form with the arms, maybe the arms are wide and the palms turned up. Or hands to your body, your heart, your belly. As you soften and receive your practice, allowing all those movements, all the awareness to integrate, recalibrate. As you soften all the way through the whole of you, softening from the crown of your head, imagining light traveling through your mind, and this white light of your soul, of divine light, shimmering with divine love showering through you, relaxing through your face, your jaw, this light showering, shimmering down through the center of your head, your brain, the backs of the eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth. Relaxing your throat as the light shimmers down through your throat, through your spine. Relaxing down through your arms, your hands, your fingers, thumbs and palms. Your palms shimmering with light, the healing light of your healing hands, your healing body, your healing soul, heart and mind. Saying thanks, thanking your body as you relax down through your torso, relaxing your shoulders, your ribs, your chest, relaxing your belly, your hips, your pelvis, whole of your spine shimmering in light, and this shimmering energy swirling around your organs, swirling around your heart and your lungs, all the organs of your lower belly, your lower body, soaking in this light to every cell with balance. As you relax down through your pelvis, relaxing your core, your glutes, relaxing down through your legs, around your knees, your ankles, to your feet, your toes and the soles of your feet. And this light traveling through the whole of your body again, lighting up all the energy lines, the pathways, the nadis, all the organs, the cells, all the synapses and neurons of your brain, your vagus nerve, your lower skull at the back of your throat. Possibly hum a few times, or you just feel the energy vibrating, humming in silence, the noise within you. In silence, that is the hum of life that's always there. Hum from the cosmos, the hum of the universe. And from the space of your own space, the spaciousness of you, of your heart, perhaps you can experience the space of all is connected, the universe inside your heart, with devotion, with bhakti, just like Hanuman, the universe inside his heart, stars, planets, the sun and the moon, the Milky Way, twinkling inside of you, with earth, water, fire, air and space. Now read a translation of the Yoga Sutras by Matthew Rensky. And this is translation of the beginning of asana. When you stretch out a limb, you spotlight the primary condition of your existence, your spatiality, where you call your already present extension to conscious attention. The limb seems to stretch out into empty space, but it plunges even deeper into contact, now noticed. You stretch your arm upwards, and the internal sensations, muscles relaxing, ligaments lengthening, and circulation finding underused pathways, are all responses to contact. Each movement of the flesh, is a deep dive into space. Reaching up is really plunging your hand into a well of sweet nectar. And as you lie in the sweet nectar of your own inner bliss, allowing this nectar to nourish, replenish you with love, with peace. Sending this love and peace through the whole of you, out to the whole of the world. As you gather this in with thanks and gratitude, sealing into the whole of yourself, remembering your intention, and perhaps you can just celebrate this once more with awareness. As you wiggle your fingers, your toes, your thumbs, circling your wrists and your ankles, come wake in your own way. Enjoying a stretch, inviting movement back for your day, your weekend. As you roll onto your side or roll up to seated, you can take your time. Maybe have a bit of a wriggle, maybe swaying your head, your neck, maybe shrug your shoulders. And let's take our backs of our hands to our knees just to remember this nice like circling if you want to. Just as you come to the end of your practice as you started. You can just sit in stillness if it's not for you, if you just want to totally relax. And once you've done your circling of your wrists a few times, a few ways, circling your hands to meet together, your heart, maybe take the backs of the hands and we can circle around the wrist, creating a lotus flower as you touch your thumb and your little finger together. And you can either continue with this, joining in for 3 Oms, or sit in stillness if that's more for you. And we circle our hands as we Om, taking the lotus flower to your heart, Padme Mudra, with an inhale to prepare. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Pressing your palms together and bowing your head to your heart, bowing to all. Namaste.